And this time around there won't be a translator. No partner, just me, them, and our language and cultural barriers. And I'm not gonna lie, just traveling alone in China to see them felt emotional. I shed a few tears in the train, but those were tears of joy, of happiness, and pure gratitude, and just being proud of myself for doing this. My Chinese dad and my uncle picked me up at the train station and brought me to a restaurant. And I didn't know we would go to a restaurant, and honestly, I had no idea what they all planned for me during this trip. So I was really surprised when I found out that all my other family members were waiting for me at the restaurant. It was a great and heartwarming welcome. And I didn't film that much the first evening because I really wanted to enjoy every second of it and live in the moment. So the first days were very emotional and hard for me. Being alone is a whole different experience. I didn't have someone who knew me from the inside out and to rely on. Someone who not only knows me and understands me, but also can communicate with me in my mother tongue and understands the cultural differences. Also, just being alone in China brought up a lot of emotions and feelings.
Hi guys, so here is a update since my stay in Dai with the family. A lot has happened, a lot of emotions were there and are still here now. But one thing I do notice is their love for me, is their effort. Everyone is just very kind, everyone shows their love in their own way. So overall I'm just very happy to be back. So yeah, I'm excited what the next days will bring.
Beneath the starlit sky, our love secret.
I think one of the biggest lessons I learned from this trip is to really experience things without any judgment. No judgment towards others, but also towards myself. And it is difficult because I think we are all programmed to think a certain way and act a certain way. But once you let go of this, it's when the real magic happens. And I think that after a day or two, I was able to do so. I was able to let go and just live in the moment. Another thing I realized is that it's not only me who's learning about them and their culture, it's also them learning about me and my culture. And I think once I fully started to understand this, it somehow reduced a lot of pressure for me. I also noticed that the more time I spent with them and got to know them, the more they started to open up and be more comfortable around me. And slowly, being together is getting more and more normal and feels more and more natural. It also definitely helped that this time I could actually understand a lot of what they were saying in Mandarin. I could even sometimes respond in Mandarin and make silly jokes. And being able to have these small and simple conversations with my family and with my grandpa really felt awesome. Though I still have a long way to go when it comes to my Mandarin skills, I think that once these language barriers are slowly getting smaller, we are able to become more open towards each other. And noticing this was such a beautiful thing. Another important thing for me during this trip was to spend time with my siblings. I wanted to really experience how they live their life and simply get to know them better. So every moment I spent with them felt very special for me. Just having this quality time, whether it's going for a walk together, going to do groceries together, going to the mall and get bubble tea, or watch a movie. All these simple things, mundane things, for me felt so special. I think to learn about a country is to go to the local supermarket and see how it's done over there. Some things are the same, but some things are completely different. Like one thing about Chinese supermarkets is that everything is as fresh as it can get and nothing gets wasted. Every part of the chicken gets used, and if you want to buy fish, shrimp or whatever animal, you catch it yourself. And of course, this is the complete opposite of what I know in the Netherlands. But then again, I am not in the Netherlands, I am in China. And to really understand the culture, you have to let go of all that you are taught to be normal.
Hello, good morning. The last few days were busy for me. I spent a lot of time with my family members, getting to know new family members and just having fun with them. I'm really enjoying my time here. But a few days ago, it was the first time that I thought, I don't want to do anything today. I don't want to plan anything with anyone. I just want to have some relaxed time and try to figure out for myself what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go and who I'm gonna see. So that's what I did. And it was very refreshing for me because it felt like the first time, being alone here and the first time taking initiative myself. And I also think that knowing where to go and recognizing streets, places, it feels very strange, but at the same time it feels like it finally clicked somehow. Finding my way to my mom's and dad's apartment also for me is a big deal because I don't know, it's very difficult to explain, I think. But it somehow just feels right. The more I am here with my family, the more I realize that it's so complex and my relationship with them is still very difficult to pinpoint. The relationship between parents and their children is always difficult and complex. Let's be honest, we are still kind of strangers to each other. And we don't speak the same language, we didn't grow up with the same culture and customs and values. It makes it 100 times more difficult. As I said before, sometimes it can be painful, but I also think it can be very beautiful because I learned so much from it. I learned to understand them on a very, very deep level. It also kind of forces me to try to understand them because if I don't try to understand them, there's no point of me being here, I think.
这是成了吗？第一对
是的呀，
开门红。两个人只要是认可了啊，这第一步。
微信加上
认可了之后，先加个微信，是吧？
微信加上的。
两个人都满意了。
So my last full day in China I spent with my Chinese mother, and it was a very nice day. We did a lot of things together, like going to a tailor, looking for earphones for me, and going to a hairdresser. It was the first time ever that it was just my Chinese mother and me. And honestly, this was one of my most favorite days of the whole trip. In the evening, I treated everyone to dinner. And it was such a nice evening, and the atmosphere was great. Jokes were made, not only by Dan but also by me in my broken Mandarin. There was no tension at all. No nerves, no awkwardness, just pure happiness, joy and love.
Hey, very good morning. This morning is my last morning in Dai with my family. We will together head to the train station and then we will say goodbye. Yeah, today is the last day. I don't know when I will come back again. But yes.